a boat he ken, a great skipper. Our skipper strode down Rosehearty Pier, humming an old Scotch sonnet, arrayed in fire new oilskin bricks and a big feit Hong Kong bonnet. But his father took him for hine a wall, for a land our skipper never saw. And so the Jim put forth to sea. Get into the head of the boat, quo he. Baith crawled forward and sat down low, and then he consoled the other, without a word about the weather. Our skipper's an office size a he. For all it sent his little need, as mair in my wheel lassie. Says Co, that's nae a head he's got, that's nae even made of wood. That's just a big team toddy pot with a bonnet for a lid. But they can't to keep their voices licht. You need hard them, he'd a drowned them both. So they prattled on past mishaps, the rocks they'd hit and salmon cast. But deal a rock that day they hit, and written veiled with a salmon net. Things gid mistakes to run a wheel, nae even went up with Ross's creel. So a box of pardons aboard the Jim, our skipper decided to mak for him. So they're sailing round the pint of the Pen, and they're gae near there, but hardly him. Coming up to the rock called Munsey Wheat, a parton crawled along the seat, and nabbit our skipper by his sair thumb, and michty, 'twas like a crack of doom. The oaths and skirls made sick as soon, it feared all the folk in stricken tune. And of course when he let go the tilly, the body had get daft and silly. It was a sight to gar ye greet, the Jim and the top of Munsey Wheat. But faith that parton kept its hand, our skipper knew he's dancing mad. The only man ever kent to eat, the heeling fling in Munsey Wheat. Oh, so you want me to tell you about this story, like? Oh. Well, Alec Go and Jock once was walking back and forth at Cocky's Corner. This was a good while back, he came when I was alone. And a commercial traveller was a big shot then. He was an ex-army officer, he came. And he got into Max and he says, are they two soldiers? They walk back and forwards and back, but they're always about turn, but they've always got their hands in their pockets. He says, how could they walk like soldiers and right about turn and keep their hands in their pockets? So Max says, you better go and spear at him. Oh, yes. Well, my men, you must have been in the army or the Marines or something. Never took a mind, he said, But you walk like soldiers, but you've always your hands in your pockets. How could you march like that with your hands in your pockets? And Alec Cole says, Jock, you tell him. So Jock tell him. He says, look here, my manny. Neither Alec nor me has never been so far south as learned to put our hands in other folks' pockets.
I went to the old hymn, for nothing is the same. Elke person I can see is a complete stranger to me. Doon through the old tune, none of them are still around. Their memories live long, although their spirits moved on. The hardy fisher folks Aiken's Kent charged on till the work was spent, toiling with nets, lines and tarry ropes, sound rough wintry seas, some was lost. Women folk who lived in deep fear, I'll never forget their anguish and fear. For those who lived in constant peril, lives twisted in torturous, turning swirl. These days are gone now, the old folks aren't home anymore. Summers come and winters go, same memories return when the tide flows.
Coral Haven shore, and now we fishing station away and machine to weigh them. Then we're offered them to big books and covered twice with a nice horse sailor's wheel. We're covered twice for us into the landscape. The men feeds it fair meat and Doomie's horse and Kirk and stuck him to crossroads. Could I keep all and the boss took him to praise him for his persistence but no need train to the landscape.
The fisher lasses sing to me, o'er farlands ring their melody, singing in Scots and Gaelic loud, Rosehearty they cried, I'll do you proud. The breakers ring melodic tunes, north wind bends rhythm anew. Fisher folk have always been, strong in faith their maiden dream. Above the cranny call of seabirds comes, the human voice in all its hums. Higher than the screaming herring gulls, bonnier by far in love and trills. Round the bay I heard their voices, musical chatter with working forces, striking results and harmony crowd. Curers and workers have done proud. Around the world you'll hear the boast of how they'll match any good host, but never will any, whatever they got, merit at the fishers or ain true folk. Frae Barra, Ronaldsay and Tyree, the lilt of song you'll never see, the bonnier voices you'll never hear than at summer nights at Portray Pier. Sopranos sing their homely songs, lingering lofty on notes so long, tales of sea, sad and so forlorn, perhaps heavenly or hope, or of love and home. Fisher lassies can sing sae bra, belter than any of the world o'er a. Like glorious sons of angel bands, harmony as no other throughout the land. Sing your songs sae bonny and bright, to cheer us a' through summer nights, works made easier with such devotion. Fisher lassies' songs can still the ocean. Fisher lassies sing to me, o'er far lands ring their melody, singing in Scots and Gaelic loud, Rosehearty they cried, I'll dee you proud.
Oh, it would have been, but quite frankly, I cannot recall electricity going into school. I don't know whether they installed it right away. I remember we got it into the schoolhouse, but I can remember very well it was done by a Fraserburgh contractor on a competitive basis, and the authority at that time was so parsimonious, things haven't changed really, that we were only allowed one power point in the house. The allowance, I think it was £20 or something like that for the wiring of the house, and they wouldn't stretch beyond that, which permitted, I think, one power point initially. We subsequently, of course, put in at our own expense, but that was
during your father's time?
Oh yes, it might have been in before, but not very long before. But you see, in wartime, the first aid post was at school. It was centred in the school, and my father, he was in charge of the first aid post. So we had there was a telephone in school, and there was a telephone in the house. I can't remember if it was an extension or not, but we needed that because my father was in charge of the first aid post.